This video will walk through steps required to configure Databricks and Exponam.Connect for authentication via OIDC federation with Entra. Several administrative steps are required, including registering applications for Delta sharing and Exponam.Connect in your Entra tenant, creating the Databricks Delta sharing recipient record, and configuring Databricks OIDC federation policy for the recipient. You can find complete written instructions for configuring Databricks OIDC federation authentication within the Exponam support pages. The direct link is shown here. The first step is to add Delta sharing as an enterprise application to your Entra tenant. A tenant administrator will need to access the URL shown, substituting tenant ID with your actual tenant's ID. You will be prompted to accept permission request for Delta sharing in the tenant. After accepting the permission request, the Delta sharing application will appear within the Enterprise Apps section of the Entra console. Note that you may receive an error message after clicking Accept. Check your console to ensure Delta sharing has been added. Depending upon your configuration, you might need to explicitly assign users for the Delta sharing application. Once done, repeat these steps to authorize the Exponam.Connect application. Note that if your Exponam.Connect users have sufficient Entra permissioning, the Exponam.Connect application will be automatically added the first time that they attempt to log in. Next, we will add a new Delta sharing recipient. From within the Databricks workspace, click Delta sharing, shared by me, recipients, new recipient. Provide a name. Select Type Open and OIDC Federation. Create the recipient. Be sure to add shares or data objects for that recipient to access. Next, we'll add the OIDC policy. Provide a name. For issuer URL, select the tooltip, copy the value, replace tenant ID with your tenant ID value. Determine whether you wish this to be for an individual user or a group of users. Copy the respective object ID in the subject box. Populate the audience value with the tooltip value for the Databricks object application ID. This is the same value you can get from the Enterprise App tab in your Entra console. Copy the URL, download the share file, rename the share file something useful for distribution to your respective end user or group of end users. That completes the administrative portion of configuring OIDC. The share file should now be distributed to your users. From here, we'll review the end user configuration for Exponam.Connect, including launching the application, adding the new share file, and authenticating. Exponam.Connect installs on the user's workstation and appears in the tool strip of Excel. The user selects Import Data and then selects Connect with Share from the top left of the window. User will find the share file that was created in the prior step by their administrator. The user is now asked to authenticate, or will be automatically authenticated based on your single sign-on setup. Once authenticating, the user will be asked to accept Exponam.Connect and Delta sharing applications. The user's setup is now complete. The Import Data window will refresh with the list of data objects that you made available for the recipient in the setup. At this point, the user will continue to use Exponam.Connect.